Okay, I ran out of time with that video, so I'll need a second video to finish the notes. But where we left off was got the values put in from the unit circle, clean it up a little bit, then we're going to rationalize the denominator. And there you go, there's your answer. Okay, so like I said, using the three identities, pretty simple. Really, mainly what it's going to be is that you don't make unit circle mistakes on the first two, sine and cosine, and on tangent that you don't make simplifying mistakes as well as unit circle mistakes. Okay, going to show you a couple other problems here and we'll wrap it up and we'll be done with the notes in a few minutes. So the reverse of the problem we just did would be to condense. So this is more of a formula recognition problem. You are looking at an expanded sine, cosine, tangent, sum or difference formula. You just have to identify which one it is and then condense. Once you have it condensed, then you can evaluate or finish off with a final answer. So if you look at the first problem as you're looking through the list, what I see is sine, cosine, plus cosine, sine. And it should take you very long to figure out you're looking at a sine sum. So that's the idea. Recognize the formula, the expanded version of the formula. Now we're going to condense. So down to 70 plus 65, which is 135, and now I have a common angle, so now I can evaluate. So what's the sine of 135? So 135, quadrant 2, positive sine square root of 2 over 2. So again, it's more of a practice with, do you just recognize what you're looking at as a formula? The condensing and evaluating part, again, pretty simple. Okay, so if we look at the second one, a cosine sine plus sine sine is a cosine difference formula. All right, this happens no matter what you're doing. I can grab it here. There we go. So 6 pi over 10 minus 7 pi over 20, common denominator, simplify, reduce your fraction, down to pi over 4, square root 2 over 2. Okay, last one. Then we're going to do some identities to kind of finish off the notes. So looks to me like I have a tangent sum going on. So I see this. Negative square root of 3. So 120, the coordinate being the same as 2 pi over 3, that's negative 1/2 and the square root of 3 over 2, square root of 3 over 2 over a half, or negative 1/2, negative root 3. So that's all about recognition and condensing it, clean it up. So those are two kinds of problems you're going to have for sum and difference, and if you just like stick to the formulas and you don't make too many errors with just the substitution ideas or unit circle, should be good to go. Okay, let me just show you guys a couple identity questions here to wrap it up, and this will be the end of the notes. So besides doing our first 2 days of identities, we're also going to sprinkle in some identities into some of the other days, so we're not losing that. And also you'll notice in your assignments you did a couple problems from the 7.1 section. So when we do the identities on the other days besides section 7.1, they're going to be given some specific instructions. It's not just like, well, here you go, verify and do what you like. It tells you to kind of do it in a certain way. So this one says, prove the cofunction identity using a sum and difference identity. So the idea is we don't have a cotangent sum or difference formula, but we can change it. And what's true about a cotangent is whatever the expression is, we can always make it cosine over sine. Now, once you do that, you've created a cosine difference and a sine difference. And now they're going to be expanded. So we expand them out the same way we did in the first couple problems, and then see where it goes from there. There's a cosine difference formula, cosine, cosine plus sine, sine. Do a sine difference. So we're intentionally asking you to do it a certain way. So I've got the cosine expanded, the sine expanded. Now go to your unit circle and replace all the pi over 2 values and see what happens. So cosine of pi over 2 being a 0, sine of pi over 2 being a 1. Remember, what we're trying to get out of this is tangent of x. Well, the places that are 0 in the formula are going to be gone. What that leaves you with is sine of x over cosine of x. There's your tangent. So again, specifically asking you to do the problem in a certain way, but you know it's pretty simple again because at least this way there's no like how do I go? You know, it's telling you to use the sum and difference formula, so you're basically having to do a certain thing, and the problem just kind of takes care of itself, which is kind of nice. Okay, last one. So again, we're going to expand them out using the formulas. So like I said, what you might like about these is because you're really in narrow focus and just using specific identities, the identities go kind of nice. You do what the identities or formulas tell you to do, and then kind of cleans itself up when you're done. Okay, well that's it for notes for 7.2. What you guys have left to do today is just basically work on the homework.